Our issue that we talked about earlier with the ordinance, it's went very well, and us being able to do that, it's just a perfect example of us having to slow down things and be more methodical. And as I explained to you earlier, we're literally having to clear foot by foot, and I'm literally meaning that. As we take a step, if there's any kind of anything that we feel is in harm to any emergency or any LEO or anyone that's personnel or for lack of better words, bomb squad or bomb tech guys that's on this working this, we're feeling that we're having to clear it foot by foot, and that's what we're doing. Forgive me, I'm stuttering a little bit, I understand that, but I'm very tired along with everybody else. We have notified all 16 families of those people that we feel was involved in this situation, this tragedy. Now, you notice the number, there's a difference in the number there. We have been able to locate and determine those 2 other folks was not on this site. And I'll give you an example of some of the reasons that we've had this problem. Their vehicle and their personal items were found on the scene, and we were unable to locate. And we naturally didn't, again, in efforts to be transparent with you, in efforts to be very open about all this, that's at the time we've been able to decide and locate those other 2 individuals. So we can tell you as of right now, we have contacted all 16, and we'll call them victims, our loved ones, families that we feel was part of this tragedy. It saddens me. I'm very thankful that we have located the other 2. We've talked to several family members ourselves again today. For those of you that wasn't here this morning, our issue that we talked about earlier with the ordinance, it's went very well, and us being able to do that, it's just a perfect example of us having to slow down things and be more methodical. And as I explained to you earlier, we're literally having to clear foot by foot, and I'm literally meaning that. As we take a step, if there's any kind of anything that we feel is in harm to any emergency or any LEO or anyone that's personnel or for lack of better words, bomb squad or bomb tech guys that's on this working this, we're feeling that we're having to clear it foot by foot, and that's what we're doing. Forgive me, I'm stuttering a little bit, I understand that, but I'm very tired along with everybody else behind me. Tomorrow's operation, now that we have the national ATF scene team here, we're going to be operating under some of the things to make sure their operations are safe and secure. Our timelines of working are going to be more less labor intensive, because they are under some strict or some really good stress on that. I'll let the ATF gentleman speak about that here in just a moment. Sheriff?
I think Sheriff Davis pretty much tells everything the best, but like I said, it's still a very active scene that we're working. We have had several calls for debris in different areas, so we are asking if you're in the area and do come across debris, you can contact the Hickman County Sheriff's Office if you're in the Hickman County side, or Humphreys County Sheriff's Office as well, and we can send someone out to take care of that.
You want to give them your dispatch number?
Yeah, our dispatch number is 931-729-5146.
931 on the Humphreys County side, 931-296-7792.
Again, we appreciate everybody's support. The community has been just unbelievable in helping us get through this, and please, everybody, continue to pray for the families and friends of everybody that's involved in this, the first responders as well, and everybody continues to be working the scene. We're going to be here for several days.
If I may, I want to tell you about a couple other things that's going on. Excuse me, I'm trying. Both our counties was hit pretty hard in 21. we've already taken plans to prepare to take care of our loved ones and our families even more. What I mean by that, both of our school systems, our school directors have already started preparing for counseling folks to come in Monday when school goes back, for not only family members, for folks that had the families involved in this, but for law enforcement and for emergency personnel as well. And we're going to be talking about that later in detail, but I think that shows or is a prime example of how we're trying to prepare every day and looking ahead to the future, not just today, but we are trying to support the folks that's up there, but we're also trying to support the rest of our community as we see them at large. Ma'am.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Sheriff. My name is Tyra Cunningham. I am the Assistant Special Agent in Charge with the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives here in the Nashville Field Division. First and foremost, I want to, on behalf of ATF, give our condolences to the families affected by this tragedy, the community affected by this tragedy. ATF is here to support both county sheriffs in any way that we can. One of those ways is by the activation of the National Response Team, otherwise known as NRT, that the sheriff spoke about. This team is comprised of a bevy of professionals to include certified explosive specialists, bomb technicians, electrical engineers, forensic chemists, and many other explosives and fire investigative specialists, to include intelligence research specialists as well. Together, they bring decades of experience in determining the origin and cause of explosions and fires. While this investigation is still in this early stage, at this point, the cause of this explosion has not yet been determined, and we will not speculate. What we can say is that every effort is being made to conduct a thorough, methodical, and science-based investigation to find the answers that led to this tragedy and the answers that this community deserves. ATF's mission is to protect the public. That means not only finding out what happened here, but also ensuring that if criminal activity is involved, those responsible will be held accountable. And if it was accidental, that lessons have been learned to prevent a tragedy like this from ever happening again. We appreciate the patience of the public as we work through this complex investigative process. Updates will be provided as new verified information becomes available. And with that, I would like to introduce ATF's Special Agent in Charge of NCEDR, which the National Response Team falls under, Mr. Bryce McCracken.
Thank you, Tyra. Chief, Sheriff. My name is Bryce McCracken. I'm the Special Agent in charge of ATF's National Center for Explosives Training and Research, based out of Huntsville, Alabama. ATF's National Response Team, as ASAC Cunningham mentioned, is on scene. They arrived from around the country, and they bring the investigative specialties that were previously mentioned. This is going to be a time-taking process to go through and methodically work the scene. Currently, as I believe the sheriffs mentioned earlier today, we're working to mitigate hazards that are just on the site so we can begin actually working the scene from there. But I'll be available when we're done to answer any questions. Thank you.
At this time, we'll entertain some questions. Any questions? Yes, sir.
Can you tell us the breakdown of the victims? How many women, how many men, what ages are we talking about?
Sure. If you don't mind, without taking some time to do that, it would take just a few minutes. I don't have that knowledge at my fingertips. If you don't mind, I will address that for you in AM, if that's acceptable. And I'd appreciate forwarding us that opportunity. Thank you. Any other, ma'am, you had a question over here?
Where do you even begin with an investigation like this into how this happened? I mean, if this scene is destroyed, like, where do you even start? What kinds of things are you looking for in terms of evidence as to how this happened?
You know, that's the explosive investigative team. They're experts. They're expert in explosive devices. They're expert in all kinds of different areas. We've all had or seen explosions of things, of incidents across our nation, and they're very diligent and they're very delicate. And they're very, what I mean by delicate is, as they go through those scenes, they handle things, anything and everything that they may come across, whether they think it's evidence, they handle it delicately until they prove themselves that it's not. So when you put all that together, at the end of the day, that's how they usually come back with their determination of what they do. Yes, ma'am.
Sheriff, if I may follow up with a question, perhaps this is for the ATF. Are you any closer today to determining the cause of this explosion? Can you walk us through maybe the investigative techniques, how you go about pinpointing the cause of something like this?
So to answer your first question, ma'am, we are not any closer today to determining the origin and cause of this explosion. But yes, as we move through, we're starting at the outside of the scene and working our way into where we believe the blast originated. But it's going to take time to get to that actual the facility where they were working with the explosive materials. And so once we get inside there, then we'll start looking at what's remaining, what is in that scene. The team will document every piece of evidence that we recover as we move from that outside to the inner explosive scene, and we'll be looking at that explosive seat to make an analysis from there.
What are the things that you look at to differentiate between something that's accidental or fact?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that one more time?
Sure. What sort of things do you look for to differentiate between something that could be accidental in nature or foul play?
So we'll have to start taking a look at that, but at this point, it's too far to figure that out, or it's too early in this scene to figure that out.
And then you said there are 16 people that you have told the friends and family of. What did you tell them? That they've passed, that you can't find them, that there's still a recovery? What's the conversation there? Can we confirm any of that?
Absolutely, ma'am. It's the exact message that I delivered to y'all this morning was the exact message that we spoke to them about. At this time, I can tell you that more than 300 people have been through that scene. I can tell you at this time we have not located any survivors, and we are making the assumption that all are deceased at this time.
We can report that unfortunately 60 people have lost their lives.
I think it's safe to say that at this point, now that we have talked and located those families that we had not earlier. I think it's, unfortunately, it breaks my heart to tell you that, but I think that can be said.
And what is the mayor, the governor, what are some of the messages they're saying and relaying to you guys at this time? Are they going to speak to us out here?
I can tell you this, in the communications that I've had with Commissioner Long, I've not spoke with the governor. I've spoke with some folks around him. I've spoke with Commissioner Long. Again, he and I are personal friends, and he is supporting what do we need. He's supporting, he says that he's telling us, the sheriff and I, that anything we need, equipment-wise, support-wise, agency-wise, and Director Sheehan over at TEMA, we're working hand in hand with those folks. They're heavily involved in this, and right now I think that we're getting an encore of support from the past relationships that we've had, and knowing that if we ask for something, we need it. And I can't say thank you enough to those folks.
Sheriff, do we have a better idea of how many people were inside the facility at the time, and is AES closed indefinitely?
AES is cooperating with us in every way, form, or fashion. They've been, since the onset of that, they've been open door policy with us. They've been very open, communicating with us. And I want to go back to, again, to an earlier thing that I said in one of the earlier interviews. I think it was how many folks, forgive me, but I don't remember the number that I said during that time. At the time of that incident, that 7:45 a.m., I put a number out there that we could tell you was in that building at that time. And forgive me, I don't remember because I've moved on since then. In my mind's, I don't have that in my mind, so forgive me.
What is the role of AES in the investigation? Are they, I mean, you said they're cooperating, but what are they giving information in terms of how to find out what happened here?
Well, you have to remember something. Us as law enforcement, we have the job of not only doing investigations. We have the job of when we go into these things, we have to protect them like they're a crime scene. But we also have to remember that we're on private property. This is not a situation that's happening, in the middle of the road or on public property. We have to remember that, and I highly commend Accurate at this time for what they've done. They've allowed us in any way, form, or fashion, communicated with us, given us the information to ATF, and been forthcoming with pretty much anything that has been asked for. So, you have to remember something too. And we've talked about our families of our victims in our community, and that's, even though this is a company and they work as a place of employment, this is their extended family. So they deal with these folks every day, and it's extended family to them. And I was speaking with one of the gentlemen from Accurate earlier, and he was very emotional, and he's trying everything that he can do and supporting us in every way we can with these families. And he's made the comment to me, whatever we need to help aid and assist them, it's there. And I think he's continued that effort for us, and we're very appreciative of that on the law enforcement side. So, do you have a question, ma'am?
The company has several buildings on this site. Do you know more about the actual building that blew up, like the people, what role they play at this company?
Ma'am, I do not know that, and we're leaving the investigative side to the ATF on that, and I want to leave that as part of the investigation to secure that. Again, I have to be guarded with investigative type stuff, and I don't by no means want to put words in ATF, but I feel that they would concur with that. Yes, ma'am, Ms. Tracy.
We don't report rumors, and we don't want to ever, and we don't want to keep it going. You've been so gracious with all of us as media personnel, from everything from the restrooms out here to the generators to the way that you speak to all of us. What message can we communicate going forward so that we can stop in advance what the rumor mill that keeps playing out, especially in the ATS investigation? Talking about, if there is something nefarious that happened, we want to get to the bottom of it and hold people accountable. What can we share with our viewers when it comes to not, perpetuating inaccuracies?
Ms. Tracy, one of the things that we did yesterday, Sheriff and I and Jason from team, we put together a Facebook post, and I've started day one since talking with y'all, or moment one from talking to y'all till now. We have to remember that we get one shot at this. It's just like another crime scene. It's just like a murder scene. It's just like a shooting scene. We get one shot at this. One shot. We have to take our time, process it, and due to the constraints that we have here, and I was not joking earlier, we're literally having to take 1 foot at a time. And we've got, if we can't maintain the safety and security of us, those that are working the scene, we've got to make sure that is in place to be able for us to continue to get those answers, to get what is needed. So, to be transparent again, it's not that we're hiding anything from you, it just takes time. And I know sometimes time is our worst enemy about letting people's minds wander, about letting people's minds have an idea of conspiracy theories in it. I assure you that Sheriff Kraft and I will give you any bit of information that we can when it comes available. We're not going to hide something from you. The only thing that I will tell you is that there's some things going on in investigations that we can't necessarily talk about, and I will tell you that if something's asked or something is asked of me, and I think Sheriff Kraft will echo the same words. If there's something said that we feel is involved in that investigative side of things, we'll tell you, ma'am, I'm not at liberty to talk about that right now. And we'll tell you that. But the rumor mill right now, it's anytime that we start putting things out there for the rumor mill, or the rumor mill's putting it out there, I don't aim it at us. But when you say that, or somebody says that Facebook post, or meaning it's Facebook post, and they're putting it out there, the families are reading these things. Our victims are reading these things. And I want you to remember that. I've talked about family from day one. If we're going to put information out there, we're going to put it out there. We're asking people not to put the rumors out there, because it's not hurting us. Does it upset us? Absolutely it does. We had a situation earlier we found something, we don't know who posted it, very upsetting to us, because we told you different. And when it comes to that, we just ask anybody and everybody, think about these families, think about these victims. That's how I would like to make that statement. Yes, ma'am.
I appreciate the sensitivity of this moment when the community is going through, both of your communities are going through, how open the company has been to this investigation. But I also think that reflection is an important aspect of this, making sure the red flags weren't missed is an important aspect of this. My question to you, Sheriff, is did you or your office ever hear of any prior complaints from residents near the plant, or any workers, former workers, even minor ones, that could have pointed to instability or unsafe operation?
Ma'am, living here, in both of us, I think Accurate here again has been very open to us. They've actually had us on scene. I know I've been on scene, seen explosions and seen things, them set things off before. And I think the residents have become, because they do have test sites and test areas on the facilities, so some of the explosions may have come to secondhand to some of them in the area. To say that I've had a report of something that's suspicious, I haven't had that. I've had one of the folks that run this place is a personal friend of mine. I've known him, and our sons actually played baseball together for years ago. I can tell you they've reached out to us if there was ever a situation, an incident or a theft or something like that. They've been very straight up forward and honest with us. And I can say that since my 20 years being in office, I can say that's been very consistent with Accurate. Sheriff, you may want to say anything.
Not the same thing.
Last question after that.
They've been fantastic with us. I've never heard a complaint on anything from out here that I can think of. So I think our community is, like I said, it's been here for a long time. Accurate has. Our community is very aware of it, and there's never been an issue with any complaints. I know they know that, like I said, at times they're doing testing, they're going to hear some booms, and like I said, I think the people that live around here has kind of got adjusted to that when they do hear it.
Yes, agree. Last question. Anybody?
Sheriff, you mentioned having to go foot by foot, and I wonder, and that people were impatient for an answer, could you help people understand the enormity of the task? Like, could you help us understand an estimated square footage of the blast site? That might help people understand how big what you have to do is.
Absolutely. We've talked about it. We talked about it again since the first moment we've started speaking with you guys. I can tell you that we have at least a half a square mile that we're dealing with. And not only that, but now we're receiving information. We've had one notification today that there's been some debris that's been more than 2 miles from the site that's been discovered. So have we expanded our scope a little bit? We've not expanded outside the compound at this time, but that's one of the reasons why we stated what we did earlier about if there is some kind of debris that's found close to the area, or if somebody feels there's something suspicious, number one, please don't touch it, and notify 911 as soon as possible.